Welcome to Karana CPQ. Let's dive into the configurable options within the system. So the settings and the parameters that can be adjusted. Go ahead and hit Ctrl+K to bring up my search menu, and I'm going to enter admin. See, open admin at the bottom here. This can also be accessed by clicking settings on the card that is available on the deal record, or navigating to Settings, Integrations, Karana CPQ within HubSpot. But I'm going to use this path to get in here. If I have access to the admin section, so if I am set up as an admin, I will be able to access these settings. If I am not an admin, I will not be able to get in here. We'll come back to price books, products, and logic here in a short while. Let's just start off by looking at the settings section. I have the default language. I have my default VAT or tax rate. Please note that we are building a direct integration with Avalara to automate this instead of needing to have a fixed percentage. I have the label that I want to give that particular tax. I have the currencies that is supported by the system. These are the currencies that are configured within the specific HubSpot portal. So if you wish to expand or contract this list, you configure the currencies that are available within HubSpot. I have the price book code that will be used by default. I have the decimal number rounding or truncation, in fact, that I wish to apply throughout the entire throughout the entire CPQ. And you can see that this is like pricing can have different decimal rounding to what the cart has. This allows you to have high precision pricing at the price level and see high precision pricing. But then once it rolls up to the sort of cart or line item level, it is less precise so that it is easier to read. I have my sort of overriding discount settings. So my discount ceiling is 20% at this point. Anything above 20% will automatically trigger an approval flow. Similarly, for my discounts, I have configured that to have a maximum of 40%. The step is in 1% increments, but I can adjust that. And then my deal threshold for approval globally is $50,000. So deals that exceed $50,000 will require approval. I have my margin cutoffs, so where I want to have the warning for this is a little bit low, where I want to have this is acceptable or this is healthy, and then anything below the sort of warning level will automatically be shown as red. Entirely configurable per portal. We support estimate-based line items where you effectively produce a low, median, and a high value range for doing that particular piece of work. And this is where you can configure those options as a global default. So by default, I want to show the estimation range if the product is marked as an estimation product. I want my default confidence, so how wide I want the range to be between my low and my high. This would be effectively a 20% spread, right? I'm 80% confident of the work that needs to be done, and as a result, the difference between my low and my high is effectively 20%. If I move this down to 10, the difference between my low and my high would be 90%, right? It would be a big jump. And then I can just configure my display mode. This is the overriding value that will be used and recorded as the line item total. You will still see the other two items. So if you select low as your configured price, you will see low as the line item price, and you'll see median and high displayed beneath it. If you select median, you'll see median as the price for that line item, and you'll see low and high listed below it. Same thing if you select high as your line item price, you'll see low and median listed below it. We have some options in order to turn displays on and off. So you can see that we can selectively enable or disable the margin system. We can selectively enable or disable the pricing source, so showing whether that came from a price book, a manual entry, etc. And we can show or hide component descriptions. We have a maximum components shown per line item in cart. This is if you have exceptionally complex product configurations. We don't want those to become overwhelming when they're being displayed, so you have some control over how these are being displayed. The full detail is still there. We are just effectively summarizing it to an extent for readability purposes. We have then the ability to allow pricing overrides. This is what I said in a prior video, that overrides are on by default in the system, which means I can always enter an alternative price. But if I turn this off, I wouldn't be able to do that unless the price book is configured to allow me to do that. Got some inline editor options and some additional sort of property tab options of whether the properties are being shown or not. Layout density as a portal global, and the ability to enable autosave throughout the entire portal. So this can be really tuned to your particular operating environment to make sure that it matches the frequency that you need autosaves to happen. And the items below this, these are really sort of super admin level items that we do not need to discuss in this particular section. These are the sort of general settings for the CPQ, and we will dive into more specific subsections here in a moment.